50-point games this year. LeBron, open three!
The good part about it all. Crowd is still LeBron James. 50,002 as he has the three-pointer go, and now the Lakers are tied.
22 seasons, 40 years of age. LeBron James, 50,002 points.
And he's not done.
LeBron James hitting 50,000 points is a basketball moment that transcends hype, a monumental checkpoint in a career already overflowing with accolades. From a teenage prodigy burdened by impossible expectations to an enduring symbol of excellence, he has reinvented what it means to be a superstar. Critics have come and gone. His place in history only grows more secure with each new record. But don't think for a second that the journey ends here. Every interview, every explosive drive to the basket suggests LeBron still hungers for more. More championships, more achievements, more ways to defy the limits of sports longevity. In reaching 50,000, he has reminded us that greatness is a marathon, not a sprint. And while we might be running out of superlatives to describe his achievements, the King seems far from finished rewriting the NBA storybook. LeBron's journey to 50,000 didn't start with triumphant parades and universal adoration. It began with sky-high pressure and unrelenting scrutiny. The moment he was drafted first overall by the Cleveland Cavaliers, naysayers wondered if he could handle the weight of a city's expectations. A city starved for a championship. Every missed jumper, every forced pass was replayed by analysts who said he was more hype than substance. Yet even as a rookie, glimpses of something extraordinary shone through. Games where LeBron dropped 25 points and made it look effortless suggested that maybe the hype wasn't misplaced. The assists, the leadership, the raw athleticism all pointed toward a player who was more than just the next big name. But nobody could have predicted back then that he'd eventually scale a mountain as tall as 50,000 points. After proving himself in Cleveland, LeBron faced a new challenge. Could he win at the highest level? Critics said scoring was one thing, but delivering championships was another. The decision to leave for Miami in 2010 sparked controversy, overshadowing even his remarkable offensive production. Some fans labeled him a villain, fueling a narrative that he was only chasing easy rings. But in Miami, his scoring prowess exploded. Surrounded by Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, LeBron found more open lanes, more space for his lethal drives. Each season, he refined his jump shot, adding to the unstoppable freight train drives that terrorized defenders. Back-to-back championships followed, and the point total soared. Suddenly, the idea of surpassing all-time scoring records didn't seem so far-fetched. The transformation was in motion. When LeBron announced he was going back to Cleveland, the city erupted. This was more than a homecoming. It was a chance for the once scorned hero to rewrite his narrative. In many ways, this second Cavs run showcased a more mature, strategic scorer. Gone were the days of relying purely on raw athleticism. Instead, he cleverly exploited mismatches, used post-ups, and honed his three-point shot. The crowning moment came in 2016 when he led the Cavaliers to their first championship, famously toppling a 73-win Warriors team. While fans fixated on the chase down block and the final series heroics, something else was quietly ticking upward. LeBron's career total points. Step by step, game by game, he was climbing the all-time scoring ladder. Few realized just how close he was getting to unthinkable territory. Fast forward to his arrival in Los Angeles, a city famous for basketball icons. Many questioned if a seasoned LeBron could still produce monstrous scoring numbers, especially under the bright lights of Lakerland. Yet once again, he defied expectations. Despite battling injuries and adjusting to new teammates, he remained a force on offense, showing no signs of slowing down. All the while, historical benchmarks fell. He eclipsed Michael Jordan, then Kobe Bryant, then Karl Malone. The further he climbed, the louder the buzz grew. Could LeBron actually push beyond 50,000? Each night he inched closer. Fans, analysts, and even rival players joined the chorus of awe. This was living history in motion, an athletic marvel rewriting the record books in real time. And then it happened. In one electrifying game, ironically overshadowed by a tough matchup at first, LeBron sank a mid-range jumper to push his career total above 50,000 points. The arena erupted, social media went berserk, commentators scrambled for words to capture the gravity of this achievement. Yet, in typical LeBron fashion, he didn't dwell on the milestone. After the game, he talked about longevity, discipline, and the joy of inspiring others. It was a statement that, yes, 50K is surreal, but he still has more to give. The king was far from finished. If reaching this scoring zenith proved one thing, it's that LeBron James is more than just a generational talent. He's an ever-evolving phenomenon who continues to push the boundaries of what's possible. Of course, no conversation about LeBron's scoring feats is complete without mentioning age. At an age where most superstars fade into retirement, LeBron still logs near triple-doubles, powering through defenders half his age. Skeptics once claimed his body would break down. They expected a decline in production. Instead, they've witnessed a strategic evolution, fewer wasted motions, more deliberate control, and improved outside shot. Some nights he'll drop 30 points just by reading and exploiting defensive schemes, hardly relying on the heroic dunks of his early years. This shift hasn't just prolonged his career, it's rocketed his point totals even higher. If 50,000 was a mountaintop, he looks determined to push right past it, waving at Father Time as he ascends. LeBron hitting 50,000 isn't just about one player's achievement, it's a statement on the modern evolution of the NBA. It reflects improved sports science, advanced training regimens, and a style of play that rewards efficient scoring. Young players entering the league now see LeBron not just as an idol, but as proof that you can sustain greatness for nearly 2 decades if you invest in your body and mind. Fans too are recalibrating their expectations. Season after season, records once deemed untouchable fall to new generations of athletes. But 50,000 is still mind-boggling, an Everest of NBA stats that only the most consistent, most driven can dream of scaling. Is this a once-in-a-lifetime moment, or the dawn of a future where longevity reigns supreme? For all the celebrations, debates linger. Does this milestone make LeBron the GOAT? Are championships more important than points? Will another phenom someday overtake him? The NBA thrives on these discussions, feeding the eternal swirl of comparisons and hypotheticals. Yet the real intrigue lies in watching LeBron continue to evolve. He's not content resting on laurels or letting the 50K define him. Instead, he's using it as a springboard to chase more rings, break more barriers, and inspire the next wave of superstars. And if there's anything this 50,000 point milestone has taught us, it's that conventional thinking about aging and ceilings holds no power over King James. He's made a career out of shattering expectations. LeBron James hitting 50,000 points is a basketball moment that transcends hype, a monumental checkpoint in a career already overflowing with accolades. From a teenage prodigy burdened by impossible expectations to an enduring symbol of excellence, he has reinvented what it means to be a superstar. Critics have come and gone. His place in history only grows more secure with each new record. But don't think for a second that the journey ends here. Every interview, every explosive drive to the basket suggests LeBron still hungers for more. More championships, more achievements, more ways to defy the limits of sports longevity. In reaching 50,000, he has reminded us that greatness is a marathon, not a sprint. And while we might be running out of superlatives to describe his achievements, the king seems far from finished rewriting the NBA storybook.